We're gonna cover the full box office tomorrow to see how these movies do. Again, three non-franchise movies, very well received, but it seems. Well, of course, we all know a movie being well received does not really, give you an advance at the box office anymore. I think this decade will be the decade of the franchises. Sadly, like last decade, where Hollywood's gonna rely mostly on big superhero movies, big franchise movies with recognizable characters that people already know. And we're going to see a few non-franchise movies be successful. Free Guy was successful, and Dog was successful. The Lost City might be successful if it picks up internationally, but non-franchise movies, as we all know, have been doing abysmally at the box office. They have been opening to abysmal numbers. But think of the Lost Duel, for example. Only opened to $5 million, $100 million budget, and nobody basically watched the movie. They spent $100 million in the movie, no one watched the movie. Okay, but if if the last duel was about Spider-Man, it would have made $300 million easily, because of course Spider-Man is a recognizable movie franchise that easily makes bank no matter what. Which is why a movie like Morbius will likely make money at the end, which will probably piss people off because nobody likes Morbius. But it's a franchise movie, therefore it will make money. That's basically how Hollywood's gonna see it because of that. Oh, franchise, we can make a movie with small budget, but Northman same budget as Morbius, but makes no money because it's not a part of a franchise. That's basically how Hollywood works. It's very very irritating to see it because every other industry you see non-franchise series take off. The gaming industry, a lot of the most successful games recently have been non-franchise games. Okay, Elden Ring, Friday Night Funkin', and Among Us are more recent examples. They're not based off anything. Okay, Among Us is not based off anything. It's a completely new idea, completely new concept. Elden Ring, not based off anything. Of course, it is made by, From Software, the Souls developer, but Elden Ring is not based off any game franchise. Okay, but if the gaming world was like, the movie world, Pokemon Legends Arceus would be basically dominating all of February, and Elden Ring would have been forgotten instantly. Okay, moviegoers don't want to watch non-franchise movies for whatever ridiculous reason. Okay, which is completely stupid. Okay, why aren't you giving movies that are not part of a franchise any chance whatsoever? Of course, he can say, well, but you do it too. I occasionally do buy non-franchise movies. I bought Free Guy. I bought The Last Duel. Saw both movies. I do want to see The Northman. It looks like a pretty cool movie. Okay, but people won't even give these movies a chance. That's the sad thing. Okay, The Bad Guys is, if it was launched in the 2000s, it would have opened to like, oh my god, it's a pretty new unique concept. Okay, $50 million opening. Okay, I think Illumination really destroyed that idea that a new animated series can do well in the pandemic, because Pets was a very, very disappointing movie for many, including myself. Pets was a very disappointing movie. Okay, the sequel of Pets was better, but over the past decade, like Roland Emmerich said, we have been too reliant, that Hollywood basically is too reliant on Marvel and Star Wars, and to a lesser extent DC. But it's really just movie franchises, okay? Like, yes, we should have big, massive movies that make hundreds of $1 million for its weekend. But why can't a non-franchise movie pull the same way as a franchise movie, like in the 80s and 90s? Okay, why can't we have new Hollywood franchises? Why can't we have new Hollywood series? Okay, that's the problem. Because people don't want to see them. Okay, same thing with the book, even like every other industry, TV shows, books, they have new franchises that come out and be successful. And of course, gaming. Okay, new movie series, new movie TV shows, because that's how it works, and that's how basically, new pop culture phenomenons take place. Anime, there's a lot of new franchise anime now coming out, which goes along with TV, that become pretty popular. Okay, if anime was reliant on Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, and Pokemon, anime will not innovate. Okay, we need new series so people can have new ideas and let these new ideas force. But Hollywood, and especially the movie going industry, won't allow that to happen. That's the problem. Okay, A recent example of this is Enchanto. Okay, Enchanto bombed at the box office, and it took a streaming service to save the movie because moviegoers are not gonna risk trying something new. They're not gonna risk trying something new. I don't really like Enchanto as much as people, but if the movie, if the Disney Plus service didn't exist, Enchanto will become either an underrated movie or a forgotten Disney movie. That's what it would win because people don't want to take risks with non-franchise movies. Okay, and we see that a lot. Like for example, Alita doesn't get a sequel. Okay, I know Alita is based off a manga series, but it could have started a new movie franchise that could have been like as impactful as Star Wars. But nope, they're too cowardly and put their heads in the sand and say, you know what, this franchise could be profitable, but it could not. They won't even take the chance. Okay? They won't even take the chance, especially if there's a fan base that demands a sequel, that demands a part two to a movie. Okay? It'll probably be like 20 or 40 years old. We'll finally make a read a sequel, like how they took 20 to 40 years to make a Blade Runner sequel, or make another Pokemon Snap game, or make a sequel to a cult classic or cult movie game. Okay, for example, Beyond Good and Evil sequel still quote unquote in development. Okay, even though people have been demanding for a Beyond Good and Evil sequel for a while. And the problem is people don't give these Western series a chance. Gaming with the advent of indie games, there's always going to be a big new indie game every year or every other year. That's how it is going to be because indie developers push innovation and new ideas. And of course, because unlike movies, games can be played by big YouTubers and they get spread around. And that's how new ideas and games get spread around. You may or may not like the new ideas, but at least the pushing innovation, new ideas in the gaming industry, new franchises, new pop culture icons, okay? For example, we have the indie horror genre that basically became a pop culture icon, okay? You can go to a store and still see FNAF toys or Among Us toys. You might call it cringe. I don't like Among Us that much or FNAF, but it's still a new pop culture phenomenon, okay? Movies have not had that, okay? Oh, you had the Sonic movie, which is based off the Sonic games, because Sonic is already a part. You see what I say here, okay? Movies rely on pop culture icons that already exist, okay? The only company that really pushes for new IPs is Disney, and it's mostly animated series and animated IPs. They're animated movies where they push new IPs. You don't really see any other movie studios that try to push stuff like, they did in the 80s, like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Rambo, Alien, Terminator. Just to face a few examples. These are huge IPs that were created because people wanted to make this interesting new idea, this interesting new movie series that became a pop culture phenomenon. I can think of more. Rocky/Creed, Jurassic Park, one of the biggest movie series. Even in the 2000s, pushing the MCU, beginning the MCU. Okay, The Dark Knight, which made Batman more popular. Okay, and again, Batman was already popular before, but the MCU pushing unknown Marvel characters due to popularity of Spider-Man. Okay, but before that, Marvel was just Spider-Man and the X-Men series. Okay, 2000s we had Cars. Probably one of Disney and Pixar's most successful movies. I know Incredibles fanboys will not want to hear that because I said Cars is one of the most successful Disney and Pixar series, but it is. Because they came up with something new. Okay? It seems that Disney and Pixar are still the only company that will come up with something new. Okay, I think the only seemingly impactful Hollywood series outside of an animated series, outside of animated TV shows, is the John Wick franchise. Okay? A series that got more and more popular over time. Okay, that's basically as popular as the other big pop culture series. Okay, and that was because the creators of John Wick pushed for sequels. Okay, and created a new pop culture franchise, a new pop culture phenomenon. But in TV, you had Game of Thrones that came out. That was really successful. And of course, TV, they're starting to you know, because of wokeness, they're reaching a stale area. But of course, they can of course go to other countries for TV that push new ideas. For example, Japan, Korea, and China, and Europe. Okay, movies they don't even watch foreign movies. Okay, they don't even watch them. Okay, Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. We all know they are. Okay, whenever they do put something new, no one watches it. So that's why Hollywood is creatively bankrupt, because people won't watch new IPs. That's the problem. Okay, yeah, and yeah, Sonic is expected to be number one at the box office, which deservingly, deserves to be number one over Dumbledore. Sonic is better than Dumbledore. Fantastic Beasts. I know Harry Potter fanatics will be angry at this. I said Sonic. Yeah, both the two Sonic movies are better than the entirety of the Harry Potter franchise. Probably the most overrated movie franchise of all time. They only made Fantastic Beasts because they wanted to bring back Harry Potter, because they knew how successful Harry Potter was. Okay, and let's now talk about Fantastic Beasts and why Sonic is better. I think that there's two main reasons that I think we all know: the Johnny Depp trial and Ezra Miller getting charged, basically. Okay, I think people hearing that one of the main stars that replaced Johnny Depp got thrown in jail, got basically a slap on the wrist for assaulting women, and he done this twice within a month. Okay, twice. Yeah, this happened twice, but Johnny Depp. This is the hypocrisy of Hollywood. Johnny Depp gets blacklisted from Hollywood because Amber Heard faked saying Johnny Depp abused her so he can get Johnny Depp kicked out of Hollywood. Okay, and now we're coming out that she's a liar and that she's completely evil and probably one of the worst actresses in the entirety of the history of actresses, which is a pretty low bar to stand there with Brie Larson and Kristen Stewart, being such a low bar already. Okay, and she broke that low bar by being an abuser, which I don't think Brie Larson would probably abuse someone as much as I dislike her. Same thing with Kristen Stewart. But who knows? They might have some skeletons in their closets as well. But, and of course, let's not forget that, we are exposing the privilege as well. There's some type of privilege that comes with being a celebrity. Okay? Will Smith, I just find that Will Smith deserves to be blacklisted for crashing Chris Rock, but the fact that Hollywood refuses to blacklist Ezra Miller for attacking and assaulting women. First it was burglary, and then he has assaulted a woman, basically in a bar. Okay? But he doesn't get blacklisted yet. This just makes no sense. Okay? If it was up to me, I would have done it. Or if it was up to me, he'd have been in jail already. Okay? But he's Hollywood. He's a part of Hollywood, so he gets to be free. Okay? But Will Smith doesn't. This holds the hypocrisy. Okay, as well. And yeah, what Will Smith did was wrong. Okay? What Will Smith did was wrong. But Ezra Miller doesn't get blacklisted. This doesn't make any sense. Okay? And we can go over even that Hollywood could be racist. Okay? The fact that Will Smith gets basically blacklisted, and Ezra Miller gets off scot-free can really show you, the hypocrisy. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear another headline in May. Oh, Ezra Miller gets arrested again. Okay? Same thing with Shia LaBeouf, another actor that ruined his reputation. Okay? Because he started assaulting random people. Okay? I don't think anyone really has a positive feel of Shia LaBeouf anymore. Okay? He got really popular because he was in some pretty popular movies. He also got popular for his Just Do It. And then he became really popular. And then after Trump got elected, he became crazy because he couldn't accept the fact that Trump won. That's basically what happened. He couldn't accept the fact that Trump won. So he basically, attacked people and, harassed people who disagreed with him. Same thing with Jesse Smollett, who got let off free. And, Hollywood's just a bunch of hypocrites. We all know they are, okay? Johnny Depp is getting his justice, fair and square. I don't really like Johnny Depp that much, but he shouldn't be blacklisted from Hollywood, but Ezra Miller gets arrested twice, doesn't get blacklisted. Okay, that can tell you all the hypocrisy that there is. Okay, Chris Rock, no, Will Smith just slapped somebody. Okay, could not be staged, but he gets basically blacklisted from Hollywood. Okay, but Ezra Miller, Rob basically breaks into somebody's house and assaults somebody in Hawaii. I don't know how Hawaii Rock works. Maybe it's like, maybe he got charged of misdemeanors because it wasn't that bad of injuries, and people dropped the charges for some weird and odd reasons. But, yeah, that's basically about this video. Goodbye.